I.S.U.P.K.
All I'm going to tell you, man, if you want to stay plugged in and tuned in, make sure you subscribe to I.S.U.P.K. on YouTube. A lot of powerful information will be coming out this summer, and you want to stay tuned in. The minute they drop it, it's coming right to you, baby, as soon as you subscribe. So make sure you handle that business and subscribe to your I.S.U.P.K.
Go with Thanksgiving today and what the definition of an abuse of authority is today. All right, something that's rampant in the white man's world and something that never happens in the UPK, and we'll explain why. All right, let me get a Bible and Apocrypha. Any questions in the room? Let's have it out.
I was just reading Exodus 10 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
I was confused on what it was saying. Not confused on what it was saying, but yeah, like on what it was saying.
No sweat. You want to break down Exodus 10 and 10? All right. Let's get that, please. We'll go over that. Get your Thanksgiving scriptures together. Also, we'll go over George Washington's proclamation that he made about Thanksgiving back in the 1700s, I believe. You can check it out. We'll give the history on Thanksgiving, please. He got it right here. Let's get your questions, all right? Ariel, you give me the questions online.
No questions yet.
All right. I'm ready, Marab.
Exodus chapter 10, verse 10. And he said unto them, Salaki, can I start from 9, sir?
Cut.
Salaki. Exodus chapter 10, verse 9. And Moses said, we will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, and our flocks, and with our herds we will go, for we must hold a feast unto the Most High. And he said unto them, let the Most High be so with you, as I will let you go, and your little ones look to it.
One second, where are we at right now? They're still in Egypt during this time?
Right now, he asking, this is, I believe, right before the last plague. He asked,
this is Pharaoh speaking when he said, I will let thee go out? What verse are you at?
I'm at verse 10 now, sir.
Exodus 10 and 10.
Let
me catch up with you. Right. Okay, go ahead, read from the top.
All right, Exodus chapter 10, verse 9. And Moses said, we will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds will we go, for we must hold a feast unto the Most High. Verse 10. And he said unto them, let the Most High be so with you, as I will let you go, and your little ones. Look to it, for evil is before you.
Look to it, for evil is before you. You understand that, Morel? Meaning what?
Meaning he think what we doing is wicked.
Evil is before you. Take all your children, take everyone with you, for evil is before you. What's another word for you? Like your front. Your forehead is your what head? Is the head that's what? front of your head. So evil is where?
Is in front of you.
Is in front of you. So what is Pharaoh saying?
He's saying that he's with you. That Pharaoh's with you.
Wait, who said evil is for you? Pharaoh said that, correct?
I believe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Read it one more time.
So, and he said unto them, "Let the Most High be so with you, as I will let you go."
I will let you go. I'm Ahmad.
If I may, on verse 9, this is actually Moses speaking.
Moses speaking to who?
So, like I believe the Israelite, sir.
Let me catch up with you. You at Exodus, say it again.
Exodus 10 verse 9. Salaki, if I could.
Go ahead, brother.
He was in verse. I can start from verse 8. He was him and Aaron was in front of Moses, was in front of Pharaoh.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like this is Pharaoh to my memory, but let me catch up. Exodus 10
verse 8.
And read Exodus 10 and 1.
Okay, Khan. And the Most High said unto Moses, "Go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart, and the heart of his servants, that I might show these signs before him.
Keep going.
And that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son."
Go to 3.
Verse 3. And Moses and Aaron came in unto Pharaoh, and said unto him, "Thus saith the Most High power of the Hebrews, how long wilt thou refuse to humble thyself before me?"
So to catch everyone up, you see it, Mark. You see it, Ahmad. Is it Pharaoh? Are you still saying the other one is not Moses? I mean, it's not Pharaoh.
If I may,
go ahead.
9 say that Moses said. So Moses was speaking on.
Read 9.
Right.
You
Exodus.
See. Keep going. Read 9. Ahmad.
Exodus 10 verse 9. And Moses said, "Will we go with our young and with our old?"
We will go.
Sir. And Moses said, "We will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters."
That's Moses. Keep going.
With our flocks and with our herbs will we go, for we must hold a feast unto the Most High.
That's Moses. Keep going.
Verse 10. And he said unto them, "Let the Most High be so with you, as I will let you go."
Who's that speaking? Ahmad.
Salakia, this is Pharaoh.
That's Pharaoh. You see it now, right? No sweat. This is the Most High sent Moses and Aaron into Pharaoh. This is after the plagues. Is this after the last plague or before the last plague? I think it's right before the last plague, right? And this is an important story for so-called Thanksgiving, for so-called Christmas, and for so-called Valentine's Day, for the so-called New Year. Because what Pharaoh wanted the Israelites to accept slavery, to accept being subjugated under another race of people. And in payment, he would give them bread and wine and onions and leeks and garlic. And for those simple pleasures, they were supposed to forget justice. For those simple pleasures. And when you look at what happened to us in Egypt, man, and look at what happened to us in America, it's exactly the same thing. It's white oppression 101. The white man oppresses you and belittles you and makes you a second-class citizen and makes you the engine that fuels his launch to rule the entire planet Earth. And he believes that he's justified because you have taken a bribe. You've taken Christmas and Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day, and in his mind, he's paid you for being subjugated under him. And when you step up against him and say, "No, I don't want your Christmas or your Thanksgiving, I want justice," then of course he gets very angry at you. That was life in Egypt. So Moses said what? Go to 9. This is now the Lord sent Moses and Aaron into Pharaoh to tell him that they were leaving, and they were taking all of their flocks and their children with them because they must serve the Lord, man. And that's what you've traded in America. You've traded in the actual service of the Lord for brief moments of recreation. It's a brief moment of happiness and fun. And for that brief moment, you will trade your birthright. You'll trade everything in for that brief moment. And here's what's so sad about it. The reason that brief moment of happiness, that's a big thing in the American Constitution too. The pursuit of happiness. When you read George Washington's declaration about Thanksgiving, he talks about Thanksgiving and he says, we need this day so we can be happy. Promote happiness. America is big on happiness. They're big on that whole phrase and the belief in happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because the white man is paying you with happiness and you are giving him your back to beat. You're giving him the blood of your children. And you take that deal every year. Well, Moses didn't want to take the deal that year. He wanted to serve the Lord. He didn't want the brief pleasures that Egypt offered. And Egypt offered the same pleasures as they have here in America, man. The good turkey, the good food, the flesh pots, they called them in Egypt. Someone find me that scripture, man. The flesh pots, the drugs, the poppy, which is where they get heroin, and beer, alcoholism, being a drunk. Moses didn't want to take it. And we're reading about when Moses went to Pharaoh finally, and Pharaoh finally listened and said, I'll let you go. Come on, let's go.
God.
Let Murad take it. God. And let me know when your question comes up, all right?
My question is in, you actually just got some of it, and the next one is in verse 11.
All right, read 9.
Exodus chapter 10, verse 9. And Moses said, we will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds.
Moses is saying, we taking everybody, man. We're going to take our women. We're going to take our kids. We're going to take our sons and our daughters, our flocks. We're taking everything we have the hell out of this captivity. Everything. Why? Keep going.
Will we go? A feast unto the Most High.
For we must hold the what?
A feast unto the Most High.
A what?
A feast unto the Most High.
They did that, man, because they wanted to celebrate the Most High's feasts. They wanted his high holy days. Think about what your forefathers had to go through, man, to celebrate their high holy days, their feasts, where they cook food and sit around the table with their families, except these high holy days aren't the worship of another God, which is what Thanksgiving is. Thanksgiving is the worship of another God. It's thanking a Greek God, a Roman God. We'll show you that later, man. But think of the sacrifice that men had to go through to serve their God, the God of Israel. And we throw that God away, and we throw away his feast days for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for Halloween. We will go and serve our God. Go ahead.
God. Verse 10, and he said unto them, let the Most High be with you.
And this is what Pharaoh said. Pharaoh said, let the Most High be with you then. Let him be with you. Go ahead.
Be so with you, as I will let you go.
As I will what?
As I will let you go.
The Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart for a time, so the Most High could have justification to destroy Pharaoh. So he made Pharaoh hard-headed. He made Pharaoh resist the power of the God of Moses. Finally, the Most High had broken Pharaoh enough, and he was going to give him one last break and then send the Israelites on their way up out of that hellhole. He said, so Pharaoh said, I will let you go. Go ahead.
And your little ones.
Keep going.
Look to it.
Go ahead.
For evil is before you.
Look to it, meaning go to it. Go to gather up your children. Gather up your women and your flocks. Look to it, tend to it, handle it. For evil is before you, meaning when you leave out of here, evil things are going to happen to you. That's what's in front of you. You leave in Egypt now, but when you leave Egypt, bad things are going to happen to you. That, brother, if you want to understand the white man, just understand that scripture and many more about Egypt. Many more about Egypt. He believes that he is making it good for you. You understand? Go read about what Margaret Sanger would say in what's that bastard that invented evolution? Charles Darwin. When they wrote about black people, man, they believed that slavery helped you and that you would die outside of the comfort and the security of the slave master. They believed it helped you. They believed you needed it, and without slavery, you would just die off. And so Pharaoh is saying, take all your kids, look to it. For evil is in front of you, meaning if you leave Egypt, horrible things are going to happen to you because I'm the one giving you stuffing and cranberry sauce. I'm the one giving you Christmas trees and gifts and Target and Walmart. I'm the one giving you all of those simple, tiny pleasures that he believes will make you trade in justice for the sake of some stinking turkey that you can eat every day. Some small pleasure that he gives you, but he believes if you don't get that pleasure, brother, you're just going to die outside of his country, and you won't be able to take care of yourself. Even many black people believe that, man. Many black people believe the same thing, that we'll just be destroyed without the white man's protection, without his loving arms to run into every time we get hungry, every time we need water, every time we can't handle our kids. We went over that Monday. The whole white man has an entire government agency and multiple government agencies just set up to be surrogate fathers for black kids. Every sports program in every high school is about being a daddy to your son because you're not a daddy to your son. So he has football coaches to be daddies to your sons. He has basketball programs, PAL, the Police Athletic League, the Boy Scouts of America, Big Brothers of America. All of those things are just set up and people get paid millions of dollars to do the parenting that you just can't do. And he said, forget about foster care and foster home and orphanages and every other damn thing and youth study centers and places to put children that can't raise themselves. And then when the person gets older, then the prison raises them. No, man. We can survive without this white man. Not only can we survive, we can truly live without him. And we cannot live with him. All we can do with the white man is take his bribe every year, day by day, his crumb that he gives us, and we trade that crumb in for real justice. Pharaoh said, go because evil is in front of you, so you can go and take your kids with you. Keep going. Let me get ginger ale up in the back.
Go ahead. For evil is before you. 11. Not so. Go now, ye that are men, and serve the Most High.
Say that one more time.
He said, not so. Go now, ye that are men, and serve the Most High.
Who said not so?
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
Is it Pharaoh? This was part of my question.
That's Moses.
Okay.
Moses is saying what I just said.
Okay.
Pharaoh said, go now. Go now, because evil is before you. Moses said, not so, meaning la'ah.
Okay.
You're wrong. Evil is not before us. You understand? We're not going to die because we don't have your supermarkets and your white women and your drugs and your cigarettes and your Christmas and your Thanksgiving. Not so. Read on. Not so.
Not so. Go now, ye that are men, and serve the Most High.
Go now, ye that are men, and serve the Most High. Moses. Remember, this is not Moses and Aaron are speaking to Pharaoh, but the Israelites, the men of Israel, are there. Moses and Aaron are in front of Pharaoh representing those men, right? And that's why he's saying we're going to take all of them, all of our flocks, all of us are leaving. And he said, and Pharaoh said, go, all of you can go because the men of Israel are there. Pharaoh said, go ahead, I'll let you go because you're going to die when you leave out of here. Evil is in front of you. And Moses is saying, not so. Ye that are men, you go and serve the Lord. You leave. You leave this stinking place and stop trading in Thanksgiving for justice. Stop trading in Mizraim and all those, not Mizraim. Yeah, what's that god in Egypt? Mithras. Their symbol was the bull. That was the number one god in Memphis. Memphis was the capital of Egypt at that time. And their number one god was the bull because they believed that the sun was a bull running in a circle. And that's what the sun was, a bull running in a circle. And that's why the Israelites made a golden calf to go back to Egypt. And Pharaoh said, go. And Moses said, ain't nothing bad going to happen to us. We're going to make it, brother. You understand me? Really, you can't make it if you stay. That's what people aren't telling you around the Thanksgiving table. You can't make it if you stay. If you stay, you can't make it. If you continue the same lie that your father and your mother propagated, you cannot survive here. And that is just a cold-blooded fact. It's something that everybody knows, but you're able to forget about it for a couple of hours around the Thanksgiving table, around that stinking cranberry sauce out of that can, which is disgusting. Whatever that jelly is that comes out of that stinking can, that who the hell would eat that unless you was trying to eat it for religious purposes? You don't think about eating that goddamn cranberry sauce ever, except for Thanksgiving time. You'll do anything to continue this thing that you believe is attached to love in your mind, which is what I want to go into tonight, about why we celebrate Thanksgiving, why we should not celebrate Thanksgiving, and the whole the drug that's involved in it. And the drug is deep, man. That drug of Thanksgiving. Listen, you got people in this ghetto, in the horriblest ghettos in the world, live horrible lives. Uncle's a child molester. Uncle molested you. And you're going to sit around the table with him Thanksgiving. He's going to be there. Uncle so-and-so. He's sitting there. Ain't nobody talking about it, but he's there. Horrible. Forget about the crackheads and dope fiends all around that table. Forget about all of the filthy people who you are around on that day. But you need this day, because without this day, you are faced with how horrible your family really is. Without this day. This day is the one day where you get to feel some of that love that's on TV. And brother, you would trade it for justice. Well, here's what the I.S.U.P.K says under Commanding General Yahanna, under Yahushua Jesus Christ. If you would forego that period of love, that little feeling of happiness, you could get real justice. And in receiving real justice, you could have a real family. We're going to go through it in the Bible today. Let me get the questions answered first, all right? Maral, let me know when I'm done.
So you two up.
Solid. Any questions online, Ariel?
There's a few.
Go ahead.
She says, it's Naima from North Carolina, I believe. She says, do you have any information or advice about adoption of the Hispanic tribes so they can safely stay in this land that they were run off? I'm not sure.
Okay, if I'm correct, I believe she's saying, like Commander General Yahanna has brought out many times, there's a lot of brothers and sisters from the tribe of Benjamin, the West Indians, from the tribe of Issachar, the Mexicans, the tribe of Simeon, the Dominicans. There are a lot of tribes who are living here in America. And the white man now, because Donald Trump has become president, and because Barack Obama deported more Mexicans than anybody in history, a lot of brothers and sisters are going to have to now leave America. And Commander General Yahanna gave the plan years ago to stop every deportation. If you're a black woman and you want to help out the Mexicans, you come into the U.P.K. The Mexicans come into the U.P.K. And a Judite woman and a Mexican man are going to fall in love, have sex, get married, and that brother is not going to have to leave America. Get the Most High here. Done. Case closed. Sister, if you want to help out a good Mexican brother that needs some help, you call the Israelite School of U.P.K. Call the camp. You in North Carolina, you contact your camp leader, man. If there's a brother in that city, you're going to go out on a date with him. He's going to get you some flowers. He's going to tell you how pretty you are. Take you out to dinner, give you some arroz con pollo. No, what's that? That's Ephraimite. Get you some tacos. Get you some carne asada. Get you some guacamole. Put that hot sauce they got on it with those good tortillas. Take you out to dinner. Take you out for that dancing they do with the cowboy hats and the pointy boots. Fall in love with a Mexican brother. And you might want to marry that Mexican brother. Well, if you do fall in love and marry him, that Mexican brother can stay in America and not be deported by the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And that's a good service, and that's a good thing for you sisters out there that want to marry a Mexican brother. And here's the problem. Not even Mexican sisters do it. It's Mexican sisters that's born here in America. They born here, and even they don't go marry those brothers, man, so they can stay in America. Vice versa. You got a lot of senoritas out there from Mexico, and they need a strong Judite brother to marry, or a strong Levite brother, wherever tribe you from, if you're an American citizen on paper, then you can marry that senorita, brother. Keep her in America, fall in love with her. You can expose her to your world and take her up in your arms and fall in love with her. And she fall in love with you. And now the white man cannot kick that beautiful sister out of this country. If you want to help, you just call your camp leader, man. We'll get you involved with it. Everybody understands that. All right. Hurry up.
Your brother asking for a breakdown of Ezekiel 28:3.
Mm-hmm.
He just asked you to bring it down.
Let's go. Ezekiel 28:3.
Come on.
Taziala, you got it. Let me know if you cannot hear the brothers in class reading. That are away from the microphone. All right. Let's go.
Ezekiel
28:3. This is a special evil night. I want to get some brothers to call in. Also, you can call in if you got a question. If you went over your mother's house tonight for Thanksgiving, you call in. You got pushed into going over there. Don't worry about it, brothers and sisters, man. I know some of you brothers and sisters, you young in the truth. I know you spent all day over there with your mama watching that stupid football game. She pushed you over there. You had to go. You felt the power of mama on you. Some of you, especially, I feel sorry for you brothers in the South, man. If brothers are feeling it in the East Coast and the West Coast, I can imagine what you feeling in Mississippi, trying to give up Thanksgiving. I know the old mama damn near broke your door down, trying to get you over there in that house for Thanksgiving today. Well, if you went over to the house today, you call in, man. Let's talk about it, man. Don't worry about that. Call in, man. We'll talk about it. I'll give you the scriptures on it in 1 Corinthians, and I'll explain the whole thing today. If you got stories about how your mother and your mother or your father or some so-called loved one of yours pulled you into Thanksgiving, you call in and talk about it. All right? If you didn't go, call it. I remember being young in the truth, brother. You are tested Thanksgiving and Christmas. You're tested on birthdays. You're tested come New Year's Eve. It's a test, and it's not small. It's a test that the Lord puts in front of you, and where you are and you're walking the truth, it is a big test to resist the pull, the satanic pull of Thanksgiving. Let's go. Whoever's reading. Taziala.
Ezekiel chapter 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Skip down. I'm gonna go up one verse. Ask the brother what was his specific question. Go up one verse, all right? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 28:2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Most High Power, because thy heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am the Most High. I sit in the seat of the Most High.
The Prince of Tyrus, look that up in your Bible dictionary. That's a heathen king who was over a lot of Israelites because we worked in their city. And he was proud and puffed up. Why? For the same reason every stinking heathen is proud and puffed up. Riches, money. And once they get so much money, brother, they believe there is no God but them. And so have heathens been since the beginning. Ariah.
He said, who is smarter than Daniel?
He's saying, who is smarter? That's his question.
Yeah, we want to contact.
Okay, what verse is that in? That's in 11? Where are you at right now?
That's on verse 3, sir.
That's in verse 3. Go back up to it or go to verse 3.
Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Give me one to get the context for the brother, all right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gathered thee riches.
Who was that speaking about? Taziah, the Prince of Tyrus. Look that up in the Bible dictionary. I need that. Keep going. Meaning because he was wise, because he was smart to make money. Like these devils that play the stock market, like hedge fund managers. Like they have a tremendous amount of knowledge and wisdom when it comes to plundering companies and destroying countries to make money. They understand it. They know how to manipulate people. They completely get it. Thanksgiving is another manipulation of people, of poor people. If you starve poor people to death and make them suffer every day and make them die every day, if you give them a turkey one day a year, brother, they're going to think God sent that turkey because you starved them every day. That's what drug dealers do in the ghettos all over America. A drug dealer poisons the ghetto every year, makes mothers sell baby formula for crack cocaine and for heroin and for pills. Makes a poor mother go perform oral sex while she's pregnant to get enough money to be able to buy drugs. Makes a mother sell her children so she can buy drugs. But what does that drug dealer do on November, what is it, 26th? What does the drug dealer do on Thanksgiving Day? Who knows? That same drug dealer, what will he do every Thanksgiving?
He don't give out turkeys.
He hands out free turkeys in Harlem. Hands out free turkeys in North Philly. Hands out free turkeys in South Central Los Angeles. And what do the people say who he's been killing and destroying all year? What do they say? They say he's helping the hood. People in the hood. That's the so-called white man. That's the type of manipulation that he understands. That's what the king of Tyrus understood. He understood that. You will see it right now in Target tonight in Walmart. My God. If you go to Walmart round about what time? 10 or 11? Round about 10 or 11 o'clock tonight in Walmart everywhere in the country, you're going to see a line like there's, heroin in that mall. Like it's heroin in there. And when they open those doors, people are going to kill each other to get inside. So much so that they call the sale a doorbuster sale. Now, the only way you can have people that will bust in the doors at 2 a.m. is if you make your prices so high and so unattainable and make sure that they cannot afford a TV otherwise. And a person that cannot afford a TV otherwise is going to break your jaw for a TV that's half price. And the king of Tyrus understood things like that. And the men that run this country understand that. We don't. All we know is the TV is half off. The TV is half off. The TV is half off. We don't understand that we're being manipulated into buying that TV. We're being starved. Once the white man dangles a piece of meat, we will kick each other in the face to get it. We don't get it. Tyrus, Tyre, the other countries, the other heathens round about us, they understood. They had wisdom on these matters. And that wisdom made them rich. Keep going.
And has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Verse 5. But thy great wisdom, and by the traflock.
And by what?
By the traflock.
Spell it.
TRAFFICK.
What is that? It's not spelled like the word today, but that's traffic. But it's spelled in the old English way. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic. Traffic. What is traffic tonight? What is a drug trafficker? You know what that is. A drug trafficker is someone that sells drugs. All right. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, meaning their business model. They know how to do business. They are traffickers. They're traffickers. They know how to sell. They know how to sell. You're going to see it tonight. You turn your news on, some of you going to be down there in that line. If you got license to carry, bring your gun because you're going to need it. Because somebody's going to kick your wife in the head tonight trying to get that plasma. Is it plasma? That's still a thing? Okay, that high definition TV that's usually $400, but tonight it's $55. Listen, I saw some sales last year, brother. The TV $400. Tonight it's $55. I said, nigga, who is you for? That TV is $55 every day. That's what it's worth every day. You telling me they can sell it for $55, $100? It's $500 every other day. It's $100 a night, and they still make a profit? That's because that TV is worth $30 and they make a profit. 30. And they make it $500 all year so that you cannot afford it. Do you understand? Somebody fill me on this, please. It's $500 not to get your $500. Not because they want you to pay $500. It's $500 so that you cannot afford it. You understand? So that when it's 100, you will break a woman's jaw to get it. And you'll stand in line for 3 days. And every business in America, the bulk of their business is done between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's their whole year. Their year is a failure if they don't sell well in Christmas. Which means when it's $500 in June, they're not trying to sell it. They're trying to make you want it. You understand?
Oh, God.
I'm schooling you to how trafficking is done. They're trying to make you want it in June. It's $1,000 in June. Damn, I wish I could afford that. Well, brother, December 25th, it is $100. You're going to crack a skull open to get that thing. You're going to kill someone for it. That's how that's the wisdom of trafficking. Keep going.
And with thine understanding.
And with thine what?
Thine understanding.
Thine understanding. That's the understanding that the king of Tyrus had. That's it. He understood how to sell things. And that's how you sell things. Door busting sales at Target and Walmart. That's how you sell it. You overprice it all year. Nobody buys it, but everybody wants it. The value of it is built up in everyone's mind. Oh my God, you hear how much those Jordans cost? Oh my God, they're $500. That must mean what, Mirah? It must be amazing shoes. Right. $500. Oh my God, I've got to have them. But I can't afford them. Brother, they're going to make a sale. And you're going to put a bullet in someone's head to get those shoes. Because they're $100 now. That TV, that radio, that refrigerator, that whatever thing that you have been desiring all year that you can't afford, that's the understanding that the king of Tyrus had. The understanding of trafficking, of how to traffic. Keep going. If I tell you and I'm from the streets, you don't remember drug dealing? I remember it. And all you had to do was have someone die off of those drugs. That was it. You send out those testers, and then someone dies when it comes out pure. Someone dies or chokes or goes to the hospital, and the minute that happens, you cut back the purity damn near down to nothing. The way the people can barely get high off of it. And they're buying it like crazy. That's the knowledge of trafficking. That's where you get, that's what Walmart is going to do tonight. Imad.
That's why I mean, a lot of people say general that a lot of drug dealers is wiser than cops. Because they've been getting away with it for so long.
Well, to be more accurate, a lot of drug dealers are as wise as cops. Because cops are criminals too. And you sure got to be wise to go put a uniform on the badge, do all the crime and murder you want and never get arrested. I mean, that's, I can't say a drug dealer is as wise as a cop, because a cop is pretty wise on murdering a nigga on film and going home. I mean, you're a pretty smart crook to say, if I want to sell all the dope in the world, I'll become a cop. And I'll never go to jail. That's pretty wise. But there are drug dealers that are as wise as cops. And the king of Tyrus, Egypt, they understood the mind of how poor people's minds work. And poor people, your entire life is desire. Your entire life is the pursuit of The pursuit of Marah,
happiness.
happiness. That's all you want because you never get it. So you seek it every day you wake up. Every day. Come on.
Thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold.
Let me know when I get to his question. Where's his question at? Hurry up.
It was,
I still haven't heard who is wiser than Daniel. Go ahead.
it was Ezekiel 28.
Is that where we are? We in Ezekiel 28? Ezekiel 28 and 3, right? Read 3.
Behold, wiser than Daniel. There is no secret they can
You gotta
hide
read
from
2.
me.
Read 2 to catch me up. Read 2.
Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Power, because thine heart is lifted up.
So this is the Most High speaking through the prophet Ezekiel, speaking to the king of Tyrus. His heart is lifted up because of his traffic, because he has knowledge on how to manipulate people and make money. Now read 3.
Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel.
Who is wiser than Daniel? Ariah. Read again.
Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel.
Who is wiser than Daniel? Imad.
The prince of Tyrus.
That's right. The prince of Tyrus. Give him a hand. The prince of Tyrus is wiser than Daniel. Why is the Most High saying that? You are wiser than Daniel. Keep going, Marah.
There is no secret from thee.
There is no secret that anyone can hide from you. Go ahead.
With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches.
With your wisdom and your understanding, you have gotten rich. The king of Tyrus or prince of Tyrus is wiser than Daniel. Why is he using Daniel? Because Daniel prospered where? In Babylon. Daniel was in Babylon. Daniel was a viceroy or like vice president, or to be more specific, prime minister, where he controlled the actual business of the government, and the king was a figurehead that just got worshipped all day. But the prime minister, the first servant of the king, is the one that did the actual work. Well, the king of Tyrus, you wiser than Daniel. Why does he say that? Because you're so rich. What's the spirit in between the lines? What's the Most High saying? You wiser than Daniel. Look how rich you are. Look how amazing you are. Look at all the money you have. What's the spirit of the words? The Most High is being sarcastic. That's the point. The point is, look at you. You wiser than Daniel. You so smart. You so rich. You got everything. Nobody is as smart as you. You get the point? That's the spirit of those words, meaning I'm going to destroy you in your pride. But how could it have been anything but the Most High that have done it? Put the shield up over here. How could it have been anything but God that did it? Because who else could destroy you? Seeing you more smart than Daniel. You're so rich. You're so powerful. You're so smart. But when I bring you down and make you eat grass like an ox in the field, then how did it happen? Then you know it was him that sits on high in Israel. Because there is no man smarter than you, because you are the smartest man. How do I know? You're the richest man. Right? Give me the king of Tyrus or prince of Tyrus in the Bible dictionary. Read it.
I couldn't get the actual prince of Tyrus. I got it's under princes. They mentioned Tyree, Tyrus.
You could look up Tyrus or Tyree, would have been fine too.
I got both, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, the definition of prince and the on-demand Bible dictionary. So, a prince is a leader.
I don't need that. I need Tyrus. Just give me Tyrus.
Tyree, a Phoenician port south of Sidon.
Sidon, right?
Sidon, and north of Carmel. Phoenicia itself is a coastal strip backed by mountains, and Tyree was further defended by rocky promontories.
Go ahead. Meaning rocky mountain ranges. And those mountain ranges meant people couldn't attack because they couldn't cross those mountains. Keep going.
Which effectively harbored invasion.
Meaning of invaders couldn't attack because they couldn't cross that mountain range. Keep going.
Herodotus dates the foundation as early as 2740 BC. Josephus as 1217 BC.
That's the dates of certain important historians that talk about this place. I gotta skip down for time's sake. They were rich because they had a seaport. The ships would come through this place with goods from all over the known world. The Israelites worked on those ports. They were the people that worked on the ships, that worked on the docks. All right. The king of Tyrus was rich because we worked for him. We fueled his empire, and the Most High sought to bring him down and did it. Everybody understands? All right. To the brother's question, Aria. Any questions in the room? Aria, any questions online?
I know what it is. I gotta look for the.
You know what it is. You can tell me.
Luke 22 and 36.
Luke 22 and 36. Let's go. Markawas. Luke 22 and 36. What's his question in specific? Whoever asked this question, whenever you ask a question, right, tell me what your question is. Write it in or speak it in. What is your question in specific? If you got it, let me know. Markawas, read.
Luke chapter 22, verse 36. Then said he unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
The brother who asked the question, what is your question? Write that in. Tell Ariel what your question is. I'll go up, I'll break it down until I get here. Raise your hand when you got it, Ariel. Go up one verse.
Verse 35. And he said upon them, when I spin you without purse.
When I sent you without purse.
When I sent you.
Let me try to catch you up to what's happening. You got it yet? Let me try to step you up to what's happening. Yahushua, when he was on the earth with his disciples, he sent them out to teach. He sent them out. They went all over their land teaching. They went out in groups of twos. 12 of them, they all went out, 6 teams. They went out and they taught, right? And when he sent them out, this is how he sent them out. Read.
Come on. Without purse.
He sent them out with no purse. What's a purse? A purse today is something a woman carries with money in it. The old purse was a little sack that would carry coins, right? Coins, drachma, or different, coins of that day that were you could use as money in that day in the Roman Empire, right? A purse, it was a little sack, made a leather sack. But this time when he sent them out, he said, go out, don't worry about the money. Don't worry about taking a purse with money. Just go. Keep going.
Come on.
Hurry up.
He asks is the same to buy a sword or a gun.
Come, let's go. Let's read it. We'll explain it. Go ahead.
And script.
And script. What's script? Script is paper money. Like an inscription, meaning it's a piece of paper that says, this piece of paper is worth a bar of silver, a bar of gold, and it's stamped. All right. At that time, money was not uniform. In America, money is very uniform, right? Even in other countries like England, money is not uniform. They got quid, they got pound. There's about 3 different kinds of money over there in the UK. Quid and pence and pound and this. And different people accept different forms of currency. Well, 2 forms of currency at this time was coins which were minted from actual gold, actual silver, or a piece of paper that said, this is worth this much silver. This is worth this much gold. Christ said, when I sent you out first, I sent you out with no purse full of gold, no script that was worth gold. I sent you out with nothing. I said, go out and teach the word of the Most High. Keep going.
Without purse and script and shoes.
And shoes. What does he mean when he says shoes? Shoes are what? Shoes at this time in Israel would be expensive. At this time, people went barefoot or they wore sandals. At this time, because to have actual hard bottom shoes was an expensive thing to have. Like it was something that, you had to have money to have shoes. All right. In many countries in South America today, the people are barefoot or have sandals because to have an actual pair of shoes is rare. All right. It was like that in Israel. He sent them out with no shoes, meaning with just sandals, with no purse full of gold, with no paper with an amount of gold inscribed on it. Keep going.
Lack ye anything.
Did you lack anything when I sent you out like that? What do you think, brothers? Did they lack anything when Christ sent them out like that? Brother in the front. No, they didn't. He sent them out with nothing, brother. They lacked anything. They didn't lack anything. Even though they had no pile of money with them when they went out. They lacked nothing. Why? Keep going.
And they said nothing.
They said, the apostles said nothing. We went out there with nothing, and we lacked nothing while we were out there. Keep going.
Then said he unto them, but now.
Stop. Now, Christ also explains in another part of the Gospels where Christ says that they lack nothing because a workman is worth his hire. When they went out, they met people who gave them money, who gave them a place to stay, who gave them food, who gave them shoes. So even though they left with nothing, they worked for something when they were out there. Everybody understands that. If you need the precept, just look up a workman is worth his hire. And you'll find the precept to explain how they were able to survive, even though Christ sent them out with nothing. Because when they were out there, they found a house, and the person in that house accepted them with peace. They found someone to give them food. They found people that believed in the Most High, and those people made sure that they lacked nothing. Read. But
he that
no, right before that.
But now.
But what?
But now.
But what?
But now.
But what?
But now.
Now that's how he sent them out the first time. Nothing. But now, what is Christ insinuating by saying this? I'm sending you out differently than I sent you out before. This next time I'm sending you out is going to be different. Why is it going to be different? I'm not.
If I can, because now they're going without Christ.
Because Christ is about to leave them. The first time they sent them out, Christ was back there at headquarters. He was right there with them. So they could leave out, go teach, always knowing that they had him. I mean, my God, Christ went out and tried to eat fig from a fig tree. The fig tree didn't have any figs. He cursed the fig tree and the fig tree died. Eat around him. Because the trees wouldn't dare not give him fruit. You understand? You're going to eat if he was there. Because he would just kill a tree if it didn't have fruit. So the trees would learn their goddamn lesson and give him fruit. But now Christ said, but now, meaning now when you go out, I'm not going to be here. I'm leaving. Now you on your own. So, but now, go ahead.
He that has a purse, let him take it.
Now, he that hath a purse, you take that purse with you, brother. You bring it with you. If you got a purse, you got a sack filled with money. When you go out and go teach, you bring it. You bring that money with you. Keep going.
And likewise, his scripts.
And likewise, if he that hath script. Now, once again, if a brother doesn't have money, don't sweat it. But he that hath a purse, bring it. And likewise, he that hath script, bring it. Keep meaning if you got cash, you're gonna need it this time. Now you're gonna need it. Bring it with you. Keep going.
Come on, cousin. And he that have no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
Christ said, he that hath a purse, bring it. He likewise, meaning just like a brother who has a purse, if you have a script, bring it. And then Christ said, if you don't have a sword, doesn't have one, let the brother who does have one bring his. Is that what it says?
Come on, come.
Read it one more time.
Come on, come. And he that have no sword, let him sell it. Salaki. No sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
So Christ said, if you have a purse, bring it. If you have a script, bring it. Now, if you don't have a sword, should you just let a brother bring his sword if he hath one? What is it saying?
Let him sell his garment. And
Christ
buy
said,
one.
if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak, your garment, and buy a sword. Because you're going to need one now. Everybody understands that? That ain't Christian, but it is the Bible. That's the Bible. Everybody understands that? The Israelite school of UPK, under the Most High, under Yahushua, Jesus Christ, under Commander General Yahanna, we are firm believers in the self-defense. You get my point? Not only do we believe in it, but it's in the Bible. You must defend yourself. You must defend your brothers. You must do it. If you don't have a sword, you better get one. You see the difference? Now, all you got to do is read. Christ said, if he that hath a purse, bring it. He didn't say, he that don't have a purse, sell your cloak and buy a purse. He did not say that. Likewise, a script. He didn't say, he that don't have script, sell your cloak and buy a script. He didn't say that. He said, if you got a script, you bring it. Which means what? What if you're a brother that does not have a script? What should you do? Not worry about it. What if your brother that doesn't have a purse? What should you do? Not worry about it. The only brother that's worrying about a script in the purse is a brother that has one. But if you're a brother that doesn't have a sword, sell your clothes and get one. That's in the Bible. Now, I thought Jesus Christ was so kiss and love and sweetness and white Jesus kiss you on the forehead and tongue your woman down, tongue down your son. That's not him. Christ believed in defending his brothers because he loves them. And this is something that Christians can't understand. They can't get it. They don't get it. They don't understand it. I'll tell you a brief thing I never tell anybody. Anytime I'm around General Yahanna, I'm armed. Anytime, no matter what. I don't care. I'm always armed. Of course, I have a license to be armed. And they're regulated and bonded and everything. But I carry it because I'm around him. You understand? And I'm going to defend him. You get that, don't you? I hope you do. I hope you do. I'm going to do it because of love. And Christ understood that. If you don't got no money, let the brother who has money bring money. If you don't have a script, let the brother who has script bring script. If you don't have a sword, sell your drawers and get one. So you can love your brothers, man. That's why we train. That's why we do the things we do. And that's why it is completely legal in America and lawful in the Bible for a man to have a weapon. If you're a brother that can have a weapon, you get one. Everybody understands that? I learned that in the school during my 90 days. If you can get one, you do it. If you can. If you don't want one, fine. But there are brothers that are going to sell their clothing to get one. Not every brother is a brother that's a warrior. And you don't have to be a warrior. You don't have to be the way I'm telling you to be. You don't got to be this way. Okay? But somebody must. Everybody get that? Somebody got to do it. All right? Somebody must do it. Christ said, sell your cloak and get a sword. Do it. Keep going.
Come on, come. For I say unto you that this that is written must yet be accomplished.
This is why. For that which is written must yet be accomplished. Keep going.
In me.
In who?
In me.
In who?
In me.
In me. Man, you better go get a sword, because there's something that got to happen. And these things that I must do, I must do. And what happened after that? What happened when they came to arrest Christ? The soldiers from the Pharisee came to put him under arrest. Mark Watts.
One of the disciples, I think it was
Peter.
Peter, cut off the ear of one.
Cut it off his ear with what?
With a sword.
Yeah, why did he go get a sword?
Because the Lord told him.
He told him to do it.
Okay.
That's why he had it. He pulled that sword out and cut the ear off of the officer of the Pharisee. Cut his ear off. What? No more ear for you. What did Christ do?
Christ told him to fall back.
Christ put the ear back on. Christ picked that ear up, put it back on the Pharisee's head, and healed the man and put his ear back on. And then told Peter to get thee behind me, Satan. What does that teach you? Put these together and you'll be a man that can be responsible with your ability to kill. Every man in the if you're in the U.P.K, you must acquire the power to kill. That's this place. We ain't IUIC and purple police. We ain't Israelites all in white kissing and loving. We ain't the Jesus Christ Church where your whole life is about serving some bitch, excuse my language, your woman at home or your mom. All right, that's not this place. If you're in the Israelite School of U.P.K, your life is going to be about the defense of your brothers. Everybody gets that. Nobody hides that, right? Is that being hidden from y'all? No, everybody understands that the minute you walk through the door, right? We train to kill. We train, we got programs, Hebrew Academy. Almost everybody, anybody who can carry a gun legally has one. Everybody got him, that's what we all do. That's the way it was forever in the U.P.K. You can look up some of these old Passover pictures. Back in the day in the Passover, they would just bring the guns to the Passover. We don't do that anymore. But brother, these old, they just be in old Passover pictures like this here. Show you some of them. In New York, they would just bring them because that was just always our culture, because that's who we are, man. That's just who we are, because we read the Bible. And that's who Christ is. Right. Everybody gets that. You must have the ability to take life. You got to get it. To get that ability, it's going to take great training and great responsibility. Peter pulled his sword and cut off a man's ear when he should not have. You understand? Christ told him to get that sword. And you better know when to pull it. Peter should not have pulled his sword. Why? Because Christ told Peter what must be accomplished in him. Christ was supposed to be taken away. He would constantly tell the disciples that he was going to be taken. He was going to be sacrificed. Behold, this is my blood that I sacrifice for the New Testament. This is my body, which I give up for the New Testament and for you. Christ was saying time and time again, I'm sacrificing myself for you. When the man came to take Christ so he could make his sacrifice, Peter cut off the man's ear. Peter was wrong. You understand? Peter should have held his weapon and not pulled it on this man, because Christ had to be taken for the nation of Israel. That's the other thing you must learn. Once you acquire the ability and the power to kill, you must absolutely learn that you cannot use that power unrighteously. You cannot do it. And that requires great discipline. Because you'll go around every day feeling like you could take everybody. I know what that is. I go up and down. I told you I went to Venice Beach. The Gold's Gym, Ariana know about that. And the Gold's Gym. I went in there because I heard there was a man in there that could challenge me and my God. I found none, Ariad know I'm telling the truth. He don't want to tell you. He saw me coming out there. I found none that could handle me in that Gold's Gym, Venice Beach. And I walk around every day feeling like there is just no one that could handle me in any way. Now, and you better never harm someone. You understand? You better never hurt somebody. You better never pull that weapon and harm someone when you shouldn't. And this is something that brothers in the truth go with. You know that story about when I could have killed that white man at the back of my house. I didn't kill him, Mataziala. I did not, and he was a white man. And I did not kill him because I didn't have to. He wasn't endangering me. He laid down. Sure, I put the gun on his face and all that, blah, 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 blah. But none of that was illegal. It was fine, and he lived. He lived, and he went home to see his white woman and his white children. And everything is fine. And I learned that from General Yahanna, who learned that from the men above him, who learned that from Christ. You put all those together. You're going to get the sword. You're going to make it important to get a sword. You're going to make it your business. Sell your garment. You're going to do it. And then, brother, you're going to have a sword that you never pull unless you absolutely have to. Everybody gets the point. All right, we good here. Murad.
I got a question on that.
Go ahead.
Sir, right? So say you're in a position, say some cat in the world, say he come at you, right? But you know you can beat the cat basically with hands.
Good.
So you don't have to pull the sword.
Right.
That's basically what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Meaning, you don't want to kill someone and you don't have to. Don't be a stinking cop. That's what cops do. Like cops got mace, the stick, the baton, a radio. They got all kinds of things. A stun gun. And they pull the gun and kill the brother. Kill the old woman. They killed the old woman in New York. An old 62-year-old woman. Hold up. Naked. She was naked because she had schizophrenia. The cop has the stun gun, mace, pepper spray, this, dogs, chains, everything he has. But he pulls his gun and he kills the woman because she came at him with a baseball bat. He just wants to murder somebody. He should not have a weapon. He shouldn't have a sword. This is the only way you'll fix cops in America. Take their guns from them. And you hear politicians talk. There is only one way to help cops killing people. Take their guns from them, like in the UK. Cops in England don't have guns out. A cop in England is patrolling that street. He's the damn constable. He up and down the street with a big old hat and no gun. And he policing. Why in the hell does an American cop need a gun? That's from that Wild Wild West bullshit. Excuse my language. That American gunslinger nonsense. Jesse James, Wyatt Earp nonsense in America. The majority of cops in America don't need a gun. Walking up and down the street. They don't need a gun. The majority of them. You want a woman got a baseball bat, rush her. Grab the bat. Since you're a man and it's 5 of you and she's an old 63-year-old woman. You get my point? Grab the goddamn bat. Train. Why don't you learn how to fight, you donut-eating bastard? Why don't you learn how to fight so you won't always go to pull a gun on a 63-year-old woman? Why don't you train? Why don't you go to the goddamn gym and get out there and learn how to fight so you won't automatically feel scared to death every time a 65-year-old Genarian arthritic woman pulls a baseball bat on you, young man?
If I could, that seemed like that'd be the reason, like, or proof that Esau is a child. Because, like, who else would do that? Like, if you mature, you're not going to do something.
No one else
be
would.
a child.
No one else, if you care about life, if you even understand that this is taking someone's life, if you even get it, you won't. And the white man, he doesn't get it because he's a child. And those that do get it became a cop to kill someone. That's why they signed the piece of paper. That's why they enlisted, because they knew they could kill someone and get away with it. So yeah, Mariah, there's 1,000 scenarios. You got to see that scenario. You got to say, what can I do here? What should I do? There is a scenario where you must hurt him. That scenario happens. The training you will go through and are going through in the UPK will let you know when you're in that scenario. When are you there? You'd be surprised how rarely you're there. You are so rarely in a scenario where you have to harm someone. With going over somebody's house because they did something to you is not self-defense. That's the Negro. The Negro scenario is stop talking shit on the phone. What you say? What you say? I'm coming over. Then you go over to his house. That's not self-defense. You get my point? Somebody talking mess on the phone, on Facebook, y'all typing and typing and typing, fingers bleeding from typing. You end up at his house. That's not self-defense. There's 1,000 different scenarios that are not self-defense. You're not in harm's way, right? Don't hurt him if you're not in harm's way. Don't do it. There is a scenario where it's he's here, you're here. He's trying to hurt you, and the only way you cannot be hurt is to hurt him. If that scenario happens, Lord be with it. Everybody gets that. You can call me right after. All right, everybody gets the point. Or call your specific camp leader and let him deal with it and fill out the incident reports and call the cops, blah, blah, blah. All right, everybody gets the point. Where are we at now? Any questions, Ariel?
It's no question, but it's a continue. I don't know if we can get into that.
Let me hear him quick. I do got to end it up. Come on. We got till 9. Go ahead.
First one I see right here. He says Deuteronomy 34:5-10.
Go ahead.
He asks, how does Moses die?
The Bible doesn't describe how Moses died, but Moses died before they went into the promised land. Give me the scripture he read quickly.
Deuteronomy 34:5.
You can read it, Ariel. Deuteronomy 34:5 through what?
5-10.
I can't read all that. Just let me give it to you for time's sake. Moses, the promised land, like everyone else did, besides Caleb and Joshua, a man from the tribe of Judah and a man from the tribe of Ephraim. All right? Everyone else died before they got into the promised land. Moses was one of them that died. And that's why the angels, that's why Paul said in Jude that Satan or the devil and Michael disputed over the what of Moses, over the bones of Moses. They disputed over the bones of Moses because Moses died in the promised land. The angel wanted to take his bones into the promised land that they might be rightfully buried. The demon, Satan, wanted to leave his bones in the wilderness because he did not earn his right to make it to the promised land. And they disputed over that. He died before the promised land. But the Bible does not say what he died of or when or where he died. Much like the Elijah. Elijah was also died and then came back as John the Baptist. The Bible says he was taken up into a cloud. He died sometime after that. The Bible does not describe when he died or where he died, but you know he died because John the Baptist is Elijah in the reincarnation, Ariel.
He said, that's not even a question. He said, how does the book continues if he was dead? The books he supposedly wrote.
Moses didn't write any books. I don't know where you get that from. Moses didn't write any books. When you read the books of Moses, they were written of Moses. Who understands what I mean? Explain it to me. Michael Wass.
That was written about Moses.
They were written about Moses. This is who writes the books in the Bible, scribes. Scribes write the books for the person who the book is about. All right? It's the old way of doing things. There would be a man who would be a writer. He's a writer. And this man travels with you, hears the stories about you, talks to people who knew you, and he writes about your deeds. That's why the book of Acts is called the book of Acts, meaning It's about what these men did. These 12 men did. Every book, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the authors of these books does not mean that these men penned the book, sat down and wrote every word in the goddamn book. The only books that are written by the hand of the brother who's named after those books are the letters of Paul. Paul wrote those letters because he was not writing a book. He was writing a letter to the school in Philippi while he was in jail. He was writing a letter to the school in Thessalonica while he was in jail. He wrote the letter. He mailed it to him. The school in Philippia kept it as a treasure because it was from Paul. And that's how we have it in the Bible. The books of Moses are not, that does not mean that Moses sat down and wrote the book. Moses established a government. That government had scribes who would record history. That's why the book of Genesis is in the Bible. Because that story was around in Israel for the longest time, the story of Adam and Eve, the story of how Adam came into the truth. And they would write that story down. That scribe kept it. Why did the scribe keep it in the first 5 books of the Bible? Why did he make sure to have Genesis, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Numbers, and what else? And Exodus. Why did the scribe write it down? Simple answer, right on topic. I'm out.
Because the Lord gave them the spirit too.
You right, but give me the cardinal answer. Moses wanted it done. Moses wanted it done. That's why it's called the books of Moses. Because Moses wanted this done. So this got done after he died. Because Moses wanted it done. Moses had scribes, and their job was to write down what happened. Write down the story of creation, the story of the flood that the Israelites always had. We always had it in our verbal history, in stories that fathers would pass down to sons. Moses commanded that those stories be written down, and they got written down. His story got written down, all right, even after his death by the scribes whose job it was to record history. Much like we got a goddamn video camera right here today, and we have men whose job it is to do what? Record. I'm not recording. I'm teaching a class. You get the point? Someone else is recording. He's the scribe. He's recording it. I'm not recording. And the recording will go on after me. Everybody gets the point? It will continue to go on when it's someone else sitting in this chair. It will just always be recording. Someone will always be recording the classes like they've been recording the classes since 1969. Everybody gets the point, all right? Come on, Marco Watts.
I just want to understand it on Psalms 12, 5 through 7.
Go ahead.
Come on. Psalms chapter 12, 5 through 7. For the oppressed of the poor, for the sighting of the needy. Now,
where you at up?
Psalms 12, 5, verse 5.
Go ahead, read again.
Come on.
Psalms 12. And what's your specific question?
I just would like to know, because as I read it, it was just certain words that threw me off. Like, when I'm just trying to understand.
I got you.
Certain breakdowns.
Psalms 12. Go ahead and read it, brother.
Come on. Psalm 12, verse 5. For the oppression of the poor, for the...
You better read 3.
Come on. The Lord shall cut off all flattering lips, and the tongues that speaketh proud things.
I mean, the Most High is going to cut off the proud. Flattering lips, meaning people that kiss rich people's behinds. And that's a lot of America. A lot of America is just someone kissing the backside of a rich man because he's so rich and he's so powerful and he has so much money. The Most High is going to cut that person off. Cut him off. Get rid of him. Go ahead.
Come on. The And
also, Captain Mashak, if you out there, let me get the names I need tonight and the ranks. What am I looking at? That's it. That's what we got.
Kind of, yes.
What about the new officers? I remember something about that too.
He didn't send me. He sent me the name.
All right. If you got new officers, give me those tonight too. Go ahead.
Come on. And the tongues that speaketh prideful things.
And the tongues that speaketh prideful things, man. Proud people. And you brothers and sisters tonight, you had to go over your mama's house for Thanksgiving. You heard proud things. I can imagine what you heard after your mother knew that you were in the UPK. In the truth, you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but yet you walked through that door tonight. I can imagine what you heard. I can imagine what your mother thought when you pulled up. You talk all that Jesus is black, white man is the devil garbage. And the turkey get the cooking. Here you go. Ding dong. You at the door coming in. What did your mama say? You know what your mama thought? I know whose God is strongest now. Right. Come on, baby. Come on and sit down and eat. I got the stuffing and you don't eat pork though. No problem. I got the turkey and the stuffing. Your mother knows tonight whose God is strongest. Right. Your mother was able to speak proud things against you tonight because you went in there and celebrated Thanksgiving. You did it. And all with you. Did you wear your garment in there? Did you wear your headpiece? Did you go in there and wear all black? Come on, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. This ain't right. Is the game on? I'll have my tray out there in front of the TV so I can watch the game, Mom. Yam, you got them yams, Mom? You know I don't eat no pork. Okay. No. Did you hold hands during the prayer? That's what I need to know, Ariana. Did they hold hands when they came around? It's time to bless the food. Did you bow your head and bless that turkey and them yams and that stuffing and the bribe that you took tonight to be able to sacrifice your God? Let me ask you a question. Is your mama coming to the Passover? Huh? Is your mom going to show up at the Feast of Unleavened Bread, at Hanukkah, at the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets? I'm sure your mother's going to cook for the brothers, right? Because you came to Thanksgiving. So I'm sure your mother's going to come to the Passover. I'm sure she'll cook for the brothers in your city. I'm sure she will, right? You know that's never going to happen, right? You know why, don't you? Because your mother's God is strong. That's why. Your mother's God is strong. You're going to celebrate Thanksgiving, but your mother is not coming to the UPK to cook for the men of God. She would never do that because she's proud and disgusting. That's why. And you compromised your God tonight for a plate of food that you can get every night. Commander General Yahanna is feeding the poor people every day. You don't need to compromise for what? Turkey? That dry-ass turkey, excuse my language? Drown it in gravy so it could be edible. For that jelly can of jelly, black people, Ariel, don't even chop the thing up so it can look like it hadn't come from a can. They put the thing on a plate in can form. The thing is in the shape of a damn can. That's why you gave up your God for that? I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it. I hope your mom will, cook for everybody in the school. Your mom is proud. You the reason she's proud. Your woman is proud. You brothers that went over to your woman's house to hug because your woman said, let's celebrate Thanksgiving. Your woman is a hoe, man. I'm telling you out of love. Your woman is cheating on you. She's having sex with other men. Can you blame her? She married to you. You'll give up your God for a dry turkey sandwich. Why shouldn't she go out there and have sex with a real gangster out there in the streets? Why not? When she got to lay next to you, when you'll be the Most High and the truth and the Bible. It's Thanksgiving. You want me to come to your mama's house? All right, then I'll go. But I'll go. Is the game on? They got the game on. The Eagles are Cowboys is playing the Indians. It ain't like football ever comes on any other day than the day. It's the only day football is played. So I guess I have to go. Why not go have sex with a man who believes in something? Why not? Keep reading.
Come. Who have said with our tongue.
See me again here. All right, Maud, if you got me. Go ahead.
Who have said with our tongue will we prevail. Our lips are our own.
Who meaning these people speak proud, said with their tongue they will prevail. They're proud. They believe they can defeat the Most High. And they talk like it. They talk like they can defeat the Most High. And some of you brothers today, you made your mother and people in the world proud talkers against the Lord today. You made them proud. Your women, you made them proud talkers against the Most High, because now they can vaunt themselves because you sat down and ate that stinking meal. Any more? Let me know when your question comes.
Who is Lord over us?
Like me, sir, for good time, check 8:30.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You get that part. Who is Lord over us? Come on.
For the oppression of the poor, for the siding of the needy.
For the oppression of the poor. Brother, that's what Thanksgiving is all about. I'm fine with that. Thanksgiving is all about the oppression of the poor. See, that's news to most of you. You think that Thanksgiving is about love, being there with your family. What are you thankful for this year, Jimmy? What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for my mama and my daughter, and I got a new job. You dumbass. What are you thankful for this year? What are you? We all should be. We all together for the holidays. You destroyed yourself. You destroyed yourself. Read that last part again.
Come. For the oppression of the poor, for the siding of the needy.
Give me George Washington's proclamation on Thanksgiving. Look it up, Aria. Don't you know Thanksgiving wouldn't exist without the oppression of the poor? That's what it's about. George Washington said it. That's what it's about. It's about, first of all, Thanksgiving has nothing to do with the Most High God. You are not thanking God during Thanksgiving. You're thanking the false gods who set up Thanksgiving way before Christopher Columbus or the Pilgrims ever came to America, man. Don't you know how old Thanksgiving is? Give me the goddess Pomona for the brothers and sisters that don't know. Sisters that don't know. The goddess Pomona. Give me Demeter. Give me the other gods that the real Thanksgiving is devoted to. Give me those gods. Ariel, look up cornucopia. Put it up here on the screen, the cornucopia. Give me Demeter. Thanksgiving has nothing to do with thanking God. Did I answer your question yet or not? Let me know when I get to it.
Now will I raise, saith the Lord. Now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him for him that puffeth at him.
You get that? Me puffeth at him like somebody that goes like, like they think they're big and bad because they're rich, they're powerful, they're always able to talk a ton of garbage because they believe that you can't defend yourself. You're too poor. You're too weak. Educated. Well, the Lord will set you at safety against him. You understand? That's the point. Like these people that are puffed up and bragging and boasting, and they're big because, listen, I can only imagine it because it's been too long. I can only imagine that my God of the president, I ain't had that for more than 20 years. You imagine how your woman feels when her God is the exact same God as the president, as the governor, as the mayor, as the police, as the social services. To where she feels like what? She feels in charge, which is why whenever she calls the cops on you, what is she going to put in the report? Who knows who has been through this? Whenever any silly beard woman black woman reports on you for anything, in the report, what is she going to put and write down? Who knows? No, not. I wish it was only that, because then you could just not assault her and it will be fine. Nah, she ain't gonna put in there the report that you assaulted her. What will she put in the report? Who knows? Marah? Now, I wish that was it, because then you could just not threaten her and you'd be fine. If you haven't been through this, I hope you don't go through this. Come on.
You don't live here.
No, I wish that was the case, because you don't have to live with her. One more. My mind, you got it? She's going to write, he is in a crazy cult. They believe the white man is the devil. And they try to abuse women, and they try to boss women around. She's going to, black women call the cops on us like it's illegal to believe in our God, when it's not. But because they know they have the same God as the cops. They know that when the cops come, her and the cops agree on religion. You don't. So lo and behold, what would she say? Yes, police officer. Yes. Why am I here? Because he beat you? No. Why am I here? Because he stabbed you? No. Because he gripped you up, he choked you? No. Why am I here? Because he believes in this crazy cult, and he calling white people, he racist. Police officer, he racist. And the cops stand there like, you call me because he's racist? What the hell is that? The cop won't understand. But the woman knows her and the cop are in the same religion, and you're not. The woman knows her and the judge are in the same religion, and you're not. And they're going to go report it to each other as if it's a crime, because they're proud. You understand? You don't know what that is. You go into court, you know you in the court, you and the judge don't worship the same God. But what does your woman know in court? Her and the judge do worship the same God. Her and the cop do worship the same God. Well, guess what? You know what that makes a woman, a black woman in the world? It makes her proud. It makes her feel like she can do what she wants to you. And when the cops come, she's going to just tell them that you in some cult who doesn't like white people. And she thinks that that will make her victorious. This is what she doesn't know. Marco Waz, read again.
I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him.
Oh, you so proud. Your Honor, he doesn't love white people. He doesn't like white people, and they say white people are evil. What she doesn't know is the Most High is going to put you in safety against he that puffeth up at you. You are safe, brother. You are completely safe, and it's not a crime to want justice. That ain't no goddamn crime. That's not a crime, but the proud who say, you don't like white people, you're racist. That's it. And now I'm going to rob and steal and smoke weed. You know how many drug addicts are going to drag you into court? A drug addict is going to drag you into court, and while they high in court, they're going to say, yes, so-and-so, you know he don't like white people, Your Honor. You know he does not like white people. He don't celebrate Christmas. He does not celebrate Thanksgiving, Your Honor. While they high in court, they're going to do that. Marah.
That actually happened to me.
No, yeah, I know. It doesn't happen to everybody. It's the life of a UPK man, where some drug addict, thief, lying criminal will say, that's why we tell brothers, fill out a police report, because that gangbanger, drug addict, murderer is going to say, officer, he say white people is the devil. He racist. Marah, go.
That happened to me just like you were saying with, in custody court with my baby mom. Her and the lawyer got up and said, yeah, they racist. They against medical care. They don't like people that get medical care. I said, Salaka, I said, Your Honor, we are for medical care. Our people need medical care.
Yeah, I wish we can get more medical care.
Right. I said, we speak against people killing their babies.
Tell him, Mariah. Give him a hand. Your baby's mother. She wouldn't happen to do any illegal drugs, would she?
Who knows?
Yeah, I can guarantee she does. I can guarantee she's a street rat criminal. But yet in front of the judge, she will feel proud because her God is the same as the judge. But what she doesn't know is that you're protected in that court. You're protected because you're not a street rat criminal. You understand, Marco was? Was that your question or was it something else?
I just want to get like.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The words of the Lord are pure words.
You understand that?
Come on.
Go ahead.
And silver turned in a furnace of earth purified 7 times.
Let me explain. Okay, let's say you wanted to make pure silver. Silver comes from the ground. You dig a piece of silver out the ground. You have to put it in an earthen vessel. It's like an earthen oven. It's made with dirt. You build a big dirt chimney. You light a fire at the bottom. You put the silver right here. The silver would melt in the fire, and all of the dirt would fall out of the silver. Right? And you keep burning it, keep burning it. The more you burn it, the more you get rid of anything that's not silver. You understand? So it's saying you're pure, like if you took a ball of silver, some of it is dirt, some of it is other elements, but you put it in the fire 7 times so that by the time it comes out, it's nothing but silver. That's you. That's you to the Most High. That's who you are to him. You are pure, brother. There's no filth in you. There's no crime. There's no murder. No child molestation, no rape, no drug addiction, no being an alcoholic, no smoking weed. He looks at you, man. You have been burned. All of your impurities have been burned away in that furnace. You're pure. You get the point. Let me know when we're done. Go ahead.
Thou shalt keep them, O Lord. Thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever.
You understand that? Read that part again.
Thou shalt keep them, O Lord.
What does it mean to keep you? Old biblical term. If I'm a keeper of sheep, what does that mean? To protect. Yes, correct. Give the brother a hand. To protect. Like, a sheep keeper protects the sheep. The Most High will protect you against these proud, puffed up liars who talk big talk. That's the one thing you got to suffer in the UPK is people talking. In the world, you might hurt somebody that talks a ton of mess. In the UPK, you can't do that. You can only harm somebody in self-defense. So what will you have to suffer? Somebody talking a ton of garbage. Talking. And you'll stand there and they'll be talking. They'll never do anything because they'll understand that. But they'll talk and threaten and think that they can, get the police against you, the courts, your mama, the government, everybody. And that talk will come to nothing because the Most High protects you. Any more?
Come. O Lord, thy shalt preserve them from this generation forever.
You get that? Preserve them from this generation because this generation is evil. These people, the people in the world, that's this generation. The people in the world. The Lord said he would preserve you from that generation. Protect you from them. And that's all you got to remember. You keep the laws and the commandments of the Most High, and you never become as filthy and wicked as the people that hate you. They smoke weed, I never will. They get high, I never will. They're alcoholics, I never will be one. They molest children, they steal, they lie, I never will. And because of that, I will be protected from them. Is that hard to understand? Should be simple to understand. You be the better person. And because you are the better person, you will be protected from the lesser people. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. That's all you should think about when you go into a battle. I don't know how a Muslim could dare battle us, how a Christian could battle us, seeing he eats pork, eats shrimp, and molests children, and I don't. So who do you think is going to win this battle? You should know before it starts. You should know already. Everybody gets that. Where we at now? Online, Ariel. Questions? 1 second. I need George Washington's proclamation.
I found about.
I need the whole proclamation, just the whole thing. Young man right here, let's get it. What's your question?
If I could, I was just going to speak on Thanksgiving.
Please, let's do it. Come on.
If I could, this is the second time that I had to stare down my pops and tell him I wasn't having something.
And it was a stare. It was a stare down. Go ahead, bring it out.
Boy, why you ain't vote? I said, call her on your house.
Go ahead.
And then today, you're like, you ain't gonna eat with us? I'm like, no. He's like, why not, man? We not celebrating. We just eating. I'm like, eating that. There's food everywhere. People coming over there watching the game. I'm sitting there like, I got to get up out of here. I got to go.
Well, give a brother a hand. He fought his fight. He fought his fight today. That's a big fight, man. Come on.
And if I could add my little brother, he tried to get me.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you're not going to eat none of the food. He started naming down all the food.
What did he run it down? Rams, jam. What's that? he run it out like that YouTube thing Ariana showed me. Rams, greens, potatoes, yams, jams, rams, and yams. Go ahead. Come on. He ran. What did he say? Run the things down, he said.
He was like, you don't want no turkey?
Turkey?
He was like, you don't want no stuffing?
Stuffing.
He was like, what about the baked macaroni?
Baked macaroni. That's the one to get him out. That baked macaroni and cheese cripples. That cripples a strong man. Yams, potatoes, yams. Oh, God. Come on, brother.
And then right after that, he went into what about the pie? Then he was like,
The pie, what kind of pie?
I think it's like sweet potato.
Sweet potato? You think it's sweet potato. You know it's sweet potato. He said he think it's sweet potato. He know it's sweet potato pie. Go ahead, huh?
And then I wasn't going to go look at it.
Hell no. But you knew in your mind what he was talking about.
Then he was like, what if we have cobbler?
Oh, God. He killed you with that one. He killed you with the cobbler. Beans, greens, potatoes, yams, cobbler. Well, get a brother there. He passed his test. You got to pop that cherry coming in the truth, brother. You got to go ahead and do it up. That's something you must do, man. Listen, if you want to go from being a boy to being a man, that's one of the things you got to do. You got to resist these so-called holidays. And these so-called holidays are based in oppression. Black families, like in Hispanic families, these holidays are everything to us. These holidays don't mean the same thing to white people. It's not the same thing at all. White people live an abundant life. You understand? You live from holiday to holiday. That's it. You don't have happiness. You don't have life unless you have these holidays. And that's the sadness of it. You trade injustice for this simple pleasure, for this simple meal. And it's too expensive, man. It's too expensive. What you're going to find now, brother, is what life is like when you don't take that bribe. Like if your mother or your father would say, I'm not eating this. They eat this meal every year, correct? Every year before you were born, they were eating this meal. What would happen if you didn't? What if you would say, I'm not eating this meal? What would their mind be on tonight? What would their thoughts be dedicated to tonight? Justice, brother. Justice. The Thanksgiving meal is a distraction to justice. Right. And that's by design. We're going to read it right now. Put it up on the screen, Aria, and read George Washington's proclamation.
Are you talking about the cornucopia?
Wait, hold on. I forgot about the cornucopia. First, let's go into the other gods. First of all, let's dispel this myth. I got you. At Thanksgiving, you are not thanking God. for that meal or for your family or for the blessings he has given you all year. You are thanking false gods of Greek and Rome, of Greece and Rome. You are not thanking the Most High God of the Bible. Thanksgiving is older than America. It's a harvest festival that was around before America ever was founded by Christopher Columbus and the Pilgrims. It is old. Give me the goddess Pomona. Marad, you got what you got?
Pomona.
You got Pomona too? Go ahead, Ahmad.
Pomona was a goddess of fruit, abundance, and ancient Roman religion.
Pomona was a goddess of fruitful abundance. Listen closely. Fruitful abundance. Go ahead.
An ancient Roman religion and myth. Her name comes from the Latin word pomum, fruit, especially arca fruit.
Right, meaning her name comes from the Latin word for fruit. Keep going.
That was it on that, sir.
You got any more, Marah?
It stops at.
Give me more. Give me the goddess Pomona and who she in Greece. Who is she associated with in Greek culture? Give me that too. I think her name is Demeter. Who she associated with? Come on, Marah.
It's Wikipedia. Pomona was the goddess of fruit trees, gardens, and orchards.
The goddess of fruit trees, gardens, and orchards. That's who Thanksgiving is dedicated to. The goddess Pomona. Could keep going.
Unlike many other Roman goddesses and gods, she does not have a Greek counterpart.
Go ahead.
Though she is commonly associated with Demeter.
Look up Demeter, Ahmad. Demeter. Keep going.
She watches over and protects fruit trees and cares for their cultivation.
Keep going.
She was not actually associated with the harvest of fruits itself.
Keep going.
But with the flourishing of the fruit trees.
Meaning she was associated with these fruit trees being prosperous, giving much apples, and the fruit tree being big and flourishing with a lot of apples. That was the goddess Pomona. They would pray to her in Rome that their fruit trees would flourish. Keep going.
It goes into Demeter.
I want Demeter right now. Go ahead.
And Demeter, an ancient Greek religion.
Demeter is the Greek god associated with Pomona. Go ahead.
Is the goddess of the harvest and agriculture. Who?
In what?
The goddess of the harvest and agriculture.
When you look up the goddess Pomona, the symbol for the goddess Pomona, the fruit tree, is the apple. That's why they bob for apples in many cultures for Thanksgiving, for this time of year. That's why you make candy apples this time of year, because Pomona, her symbol was the apple. The apple was her symbol. And so you'll find this time of year, everything is about apples. Apple, bobbing for apples, going to see apple orchards. You got schools all over the country, grade schools, that are going to take their children to apple orchards so they can see the apple orchards, because this is the common practice to worship the goddess Pomona.
Well, I know a lot of black people. I know my mom, she get apple pie for Thanksgiving.
Apple pie, forget about them candy apples. That's going to break your tooth off your damn head. That candy apple. Candy apples, apple, everything. Apple. Well, that doesn't come from the Pilgrims. That comes from Pomona. That's what Thanksgiving is. It's the worship of the harvest festival. The worship of the gods of the harvest. That's what the pumpkin is about. Because they wanted to pray to her, pray to Demeter for the pumpkins. They would have more pumpkins, bigger pumpkins, and they would pray to Pomona, to Demeter. Keep going.
Who presided over grains and the fertility of the earth.
Keep going.
Her cult titles include Sito, she of the grain, as the giver of food or grain.
The giver of food or grain. Keep going.
And And that's
I ain't got time. I need you to go down to where her symbol is the horn. Is a horn filled with fruit. That's what I need. Her symbol is the horn. Give me the cornucopia. You brothers can is in Demeter, I believe. Her symbol is the horn filled with fruit. This is the symbol for Demeter and Pomona. This symbol right here. This symbol, brother, you're gonna see every year. We went over this in Monday class in Philadelphia. Who was here? I need that when we went over this horn filled with fruit that was the symbol for one of those gods. I'm pretty sure it was Demeter, Marah.
It says her symbol is the cornucopia.
There you go. Read it again.
The symbol is cornucopia.
The what?
Her symbol is cornucopia.
Yeah, read that. Her. Say her. Emphasize it.
Her symbol is cornucopia.
Her symbol. Now, brother, I ain't got to tell you about this thing. Brother in the front, young man, have you not seen this your whole life this time of year?
My whole life.
My whole life. My whole life, I've seen this symbol. There's the pumpkin. There's the apple. There's all of the fruits this time of year. You never wondered why you see this every year. This is why you see this every year. Because this is the goddess Demeter's symbol. That's her symbol. You get that on the camera? That's her symbol. Every year we see it. It's going to be, if you got a child, it's in their grade school. It's on the walls. It's everywhere. So many times we think, we lie to ourselves and tell ourselves that we're thanking God. We're thanking God. You're thanking Demeter. Worship has been around before the Pilgrims, before the Indians. It is the worship, put it back up. It is the worship of the goddess Demeter. That's what Thanksgiving is. George Washington made a proclamation in the 1700s to allow the Americans to have a day of thanks. That day of thanks in the exact day and season that they always worshiped the goddess of Demeter. Her symbol is the what, Marah?
The cornucopia.
Keep going.
Wheat, torch, or bread.
Wheat, torch, or bread. These are all symbols of this time of year. You see the wheat, they stack them up in a bunch. They grab wheat stalks and they tie them together. And there'll be like stacks of wheat all over every place. And you see them when you go in churches and in schools. And you think, oh, it's about food and having a lot of food and thanking God for food. Nigga, you're lying to yourself. This ain't about thanking God for food. This is a Greek god that they've been worshiping for thousands of years before America ever existed. Damn, you can look this up by now. Just look it up. Everybody knows it. Nobody gives a damn. Because now Thanksgiving has become part of what you need to be happy. So you don't care what it's really about. You'll lie to yourself and tell yourself what it's about. It's about a Greek and Roman goddess. Who are you thanking? You ain't thanking the Lord. Give me John, give me Judges 5, and you know what I want. 21. Thanksgiving is wicked and selfish and disgusting. And you're trading justice for a moment of happiness. That's all. A moment. And guess what, brother? Tomorrow, Thanksgiving will be over. And you'll go back to being that same family of yours. I know none of y'all don't have no drug addicts in your family. I'm sure y'all got a lot to be thankful for. Right? None of you got no crackheads or heroin addicts or pill poppers. None of that. Nah, I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you got plenty to be thankful for, don't you? I'm sure you all grew up with your father. He never was a drug addict or alcoholic. I'm sure you got plenty to be thankful for. I'm sure you got so much to be. I'm sure your sisters ain't whores having sex with everybody. I'm sure you got plenty to be thankful for. What if you gave up these moments of happiness to have a real family? What if you did that? What if you said, we're not celebrating Thanksgiving, y'all, but you know what we're going to do? We're going to deal with the child molestation going on in this house. We're going to deal with that. No more turkey. No more cobbler. But you know what we'll deal with? My little sister is a hoe. We'll deal with that this year. We'll fix all that. We'll fix the fact that this little sister is a hoe and that the son is selling drugs and that the father is beat down every day, sad and going in the bathroom, locking himself in the bathroom because the mother is abusing him. We'll deal with this. We'll deal with my father's alcoholism. We'll go out and we'll say, we're going to fix these problems. But to fix these problems, we won't be able to blind ourselves with temporary happiness. Come on. Wait, first, Ariel, give me George Washington. Cut. This is the proclamation that George Washington sent to Congress in, I think, the 1700s, all right? And we'll read some of that. Go ahead.
Issued by President George Washington at the request of Congress.
So this is back when he was president. He was the first president of the, I got you, brother. He was the first president of the United States. Go ahead.
On October 3rd, 1789, by the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. Where it sees it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey his will, to be grateful for his benefits, and humbly to implore his protection and favor. And whereas both of a House of Congress have, by their joint committee, requested me to recommend to the people of the United States a day of public thanksgiving and prayer.
Keep going.
To be observed by acknowledging with grateful hearts the many and signal favors of Almighty God.
So this is Thanksgiving comes from him. He pushed it. Then Abraham Lincoln made it law. There was another woman who fought for it for 40 years. It was the same white woman that invented Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary had a little lamb, fleece was white as snow. She pushed for Thanksgiving for 40 years to make it a national holiday where everyone had a day off. George Washington is the first one to start it, to say that we should have this day and proclaim it this day for this purpose. Keep going.
Especially by affording them an opportunity peaceably to establish a form of government for their society and happiness.
Then what?
For their society and happiness.
Meaning we need this day so that they can peaceably have a government for their society and for their happiness. Keep going.
Now, therefore, I do recommend and assign Thursday, the 26th day of November next, to be devoted by the people of these states to service of that great and glorious.
Keep going.
Being who is the beneficent offer of all the good that was, that is, or that will be.
Meaning, we're going to now thank our God for all that we have, all that we ever will have, and all that we were. The problem is, in the Black and Hispanic community, we assume that his God is the God of the Bible. When George Washington was a Mason, he worshiped Satan. He was not some man that worshiped the God of the Bible. He was a staunch Mason. The Masonic order was the most important thing in his life. He designed his city, Washington, D.C., in the shape of the star, because that's a sacred symbol in the order of Masonic worship. That was his God. The Masons worshiped the gods of Egypt. The gods of Egypt worship the gods of what? Salaki. The gods of Egypt are the same gods as the gods of what? Right? But what's the main thing? Greece. What's the god of Greece? Demeter. The gods of Egypt and the gods of Greece are the same gods. George Washington was trying to get every American citizen to worship his God, which were the Egyptian gods, which have counterparts in Greek religion. And he did it. He did it. Keep going.
That we may then all unite in rendering unto him our sincere and humble thanks for his kind care and protection of the people of this country.
Keep going.
previous to their becoming a nation, for the single and manifold mercies and the favor.
Read that one more time. Say that one more time. Go ahead. Previous. Say the previous part.
His country previous to their becoming a nation.
Previous to them becoming a nation. I thought Thanksgiving was about the Pilgrims and the Indians. He set this up for this God previous to them becoming a nation. Thanksgiving ain't got nothing to do with no meal between the North American Indian and the Pilgrims. Thanksgiving was around, finish my thought, previous to them becoming a nation. Previous. It goes all the way back to the goddess Demeter. They were always doing this. This is white culture to have this festival on this day where you worship the God that blesses your pumpkins and your apples and your gourds, your squash. This is Greek culture. This has been around for thousands of years. He just brung you into it. And now you take this holiday and you forsake justice for this holiday. Keep going.
For the signal and manifold mercies and the favor, able interpositions of his province in the course and conclusion of the late war.
Here we go right now. Keep going.
For the great degree of tranquility, union, and plenty, which we have since enjoyed.
Keep going.
For the peaceable and rational manner in which we have been enabled to establish constitutions of government for our safety and happiness.
Where are you at? Are you at and also that we may then unite? Okay, keep going. Keep going. Let me catch up with you. Keep going.
And particularly the nation.
I see you right here. I'm gonna skip you down. Keep reading, so I can.
And particularly the national one instituted for the civil and religious liberty with which we are blessed.
Now skip down to the next paragraph. And also that we may.
And also that we may then unite and most humbly offering our prayers and supplication to the great Lord and ruler of nations.
Keep going.
And beseech him to pardon our national.
Here we go. Here we go. Listen carefully, Akim. And do what?
And beseech him to pardon our national and other transgressions.
And beseech him to pardon. What does the word pardon mean, Aria?
It's like a prisoner getting released.
It's forgive.
Yeah, forgive.
To pardon our what?
Our national and other transgressions.
Our national and other transgressions. What is a transgression, Mataziala?
Something that you committed against somebody.
That's right. George Washington is saying we need this holiday so that we can be forgiven our national transgressions and to pardon us for what we've done. Keep going, Aria.
To enable us all.
To enable us who?
Us all.
Us all. Go ahead.
Whether in public or private stations, to perform our several and relative duties properly and punctually. To render our national government.
Stop right there. Read it from the forgive us, the pardon.
To pardon.
Listen closely, y'all. This is hard to understand because it's written in Old English. But I'll make you understand through the power of the Most High in Christ. Let's listen carefully. Just listen carefully. Go ahead.
To pardon our national and other.
We need Thanksgiving on this day to pardon our national transgression. George Washington knew that his people had done something very evil. Why? Because George Washington knew that his people had killed the North American Indian, brother. George Washington and his people, he fought in the wars he fought during the French and the North American Indian War and killed so many North American Indians. Took this land from the tribe of Gad, your brother, the North American Indian. And he went and made Thanksgiving and he said, we need this so we can be pardoned from our national transgression. National meaning a sin that every American has committed. National transgression. We need this holiday so we can be pardoned for it. So we can be forgiven for our national transgression. What's the national transgression that's associated with Thanksgiving? Matazi Allah? The national transgression that's associated with Thanksgiving. Ahmad Yashar. The murder of the North American Indian. Guess what he decided to do? Give everybody a holiday so they could be forgiven for their national transgression and be what for it? Pardoned for it. Case closed. We're innocent. You'll forgive us if we give you this holiday. Read the next part after national transgression.
To enable us all.
To make us all. Go ahead.
Whether in public or private stations.
Whether we have public jobs or private jobs. That's stations. Public stations or private stations. Go ahead.
To perform our several and relative duties.
To perform our many duties, or relative, meaning duties that you do but I don't do. That's a relative. It's your duty, but it's not my duty. It's relative to you. Several duties is many duties. We need this holiday so we can be pardoned, forgiven our national transgressions, so we can all perform our public jobs or our private jobs. Keep going.
To enable us what? Several and relative duties properly and punctually.
So we can perform our duties properly and punctually. What does punctually mean? Who knows? If you are punctual, what does that mean? You know, young brother?
Being on time.
Being on time. We need Thanksgiving to pardon our national transgression so we can all perform our job, public or private, and do it proper and do it on time. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and I'm going to explain it to you if you don't get it. The white man invented Thanksgiving, gave us the goddess Demeter and the goddess Pomona, gave us a day where we all would be thankful for all that the goddesses have given us, so we would all forgive America for murdering us. Because if we forgive America for murdering us and killing us and enslave us, we could all be to work on time. Get there on time, do your job, and do it at 9 a.m. That's Thanksgiving, and it's here, written in his proclamation. Here. He knows how to get slaves to work. He knows how to get a doorbuster sale on Black Friday, which is also a term from slavery. Black Friday. He knows what to do. He knew how he killed all the North American Indian, slaughtered them. Well, how are we going to come together as a nation and get the slaves to work at 9 a.m.? I got it. Give them a feast, a party. Doesn't that always work with you niggers and savages? A party. And with this party, guess what the slaves will do? They'll forgive us. They'll pardon us. They'll pardon us this transgression. And they will get to work on time and complete their private and public duties. They'll do them properly and they'll do them punctually. They'll do them on time and they'll do them like they're supposed to. Is that not what's going on around your family? Yeah, they get to work on time, ain't they? They doing their job, right? When they go to work, your father have a slavery? He get there on time? Sometime. The point is to make him a good slave. To do your duty properly and punctually is otherwise known as what? Being a good slave. I mean, am I making it up? I just Googled it up. That's it. It ain't magic. I just Googled it. You get the point? I went about looking the damn thing up. That's all. I just looked it up, and George Washington said it. So we can be forgiven, pardoned our national transgression. We all know what the white man's national transgression is. It's what Thanksgiving is about. The Indians and the Pilgrims and sitting down and having a meal. The white man knew that he would be hated for how he killed the Indians. He knew he would be hated for it because it was genocide. He understood it. How do you fix that? Give him a party. Always works. Yams, macaroni and cheese, and cobbler always works. Always works, doesn't it? Work back in Rome. I got you. Work back in Greece. Work back in Egypt. Give me the flesh pots. Who I asked for that earlier. I'm wrapping it up. I'm just going to wrap it up now. I'll get that first. The one. Give me the flesh pots. The white man has been bribing us with food and lust since the Garden of Eden, when he bribed Eve and told her she could be as a god if she disobeyed the one true living God. And the white man in Egypt, the Egyptians in Egypt, they bribed us with their flesh pots. We're slaves, do you understand? Meaning this, we don't need stocks and bonds for us to serve America. If you're white, you would need ownership of America for you to serve America. You would need the stock market. You would need acres. You would need mansions. You know what you need because you're a slave? Candy yams, mac and cheese. That's what you need. And that's enough for you to forgive and pardon their national transgressions. You forgive this nation for what they've done. You traded justice for Thanksgiving. Am I making it up? He just said it. Ariel, read it again. He said it. He's saying you would forgive them if you got Thanksgiving and you would perform your duties public and you would perform them properly and punctually. Ariel, find me flesh pots in Exodus. Go, Ariel. Read what I asked for.
To enable us all,
to make us,
whether in public or private stations, to perform our several and relative duties properly and punctually.
Give me the transgression and the pardon us.
And beseech him to pardon our national and other transgressions.
Beseech him to pardon our national transgressions?
Other transgressions.
And other transgressions. National means what? You know that. You hear that term every day. You hear that term every day. National, nationwide. There is a crime that this nation has committed. And that crime is genocide against the North American Indian. Genocide against the so-called black man. Then genocide against the so-called Hispanic man. This is a crime that every white man has taken part in. Every white man has benefited in. Why aren't you mad at it? Why aren't you upset? Why aren't you like, damn it, this has got to stop. I can't stand this. Why isn't your mother mad, your father mad? Why? Thanksgiving. That's it. It ain't magical. Your mother and father lived their entire year for Christmas. And because of Christmas, they have traded injustice. Because of that. Again, Ariel, from pardon.
And beseech him to pardon our national and other transgressions. To enable us all, whether in public or private stations, to perform our several and relative duties properly and punctually.
Punctuation. To get the work on time. To do your job right and proper. To be forgiven for your transgressions. They gave you Thanksgiving. You literally traded injustice for Thanksgiving. You literally did it. And you think about that every year. When your mother is saying, come to the dinner. Mama, are you saying we should go do something for the North American Indian? Why don't you take your black ass down to the reservation for Thanksgiving? since you must celebrate it, why don't you go give them something? Since they're living on a reservation in a hellhole you can't imagine, full of rape and alcoholism and heroin and crack and cocaine and poverty with no police, no government agencies to help them. Why don't you go give them something? You're not going to give them something because you know Thanksgiving is for you to forget about the North American Indian, to forget about Standing Rock, to forget about the Apaches, to forget about the Lumpy tribe, to forget about the Navajo, to forget about them. And you take your bribe and you trade that in, and you don't receive justice and you don't give a damn. Show me how it happened in Egypt also, Imam.
Exodus 16, verse 3. And the children of Israel said unto them.
Now this is back in Egypt, when Moses and the Israelites were in Egypt. Go ahead.
Would to the Most High we have died by the hand of the Lord.
Stop. This is back when we had left Egypt and now we're in the wilderness. And we're out of Egypt. And of course, it's not as comfortable out there. We don't have the food on time like November 26th. Here comes stuffing. First of the month. Here comes money and cheese and welfare. Then we're out in Egypt and we're going for ourselves out there. And the Israelites, in their wickedness, they said, what again?
Well, to the Most High we have died by the hand of the Lord and the land of Egypt.
They said, man, I wish the Lord had killed us in Egypt. I wish we'd have died there. Keep going.
When we sat by the flesh pots.
In Egypt, we sat by the flesh pots. What's flesh? Meat. What's a pot? The pot you cook meat in. Keep going.
And when we did eat bread to be full.
Oh, we was eating bread and cobbler and yams and stuffing. We ate bread to the full. Go ahead.
For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
That's what they told Moses, man. You done brought us out here in this wilderness to kill all of us with hunger. That's what Moses had to come up against. His entire nation lusting over the comfortable, regular food of Egypt. And they betrayed the Most High, and Moses had to kill a ton of them out there in that wilderness because of their lust to go back to Egypt to get that regular, annual, trusted, here it comes candy yams and macaroni and cheese and turkey every year, the same menu. I don't know how you niggas don't get tired of that garbage. Right. You don't never get sick of that same soul food mess every year. I got absolutely sick of it. What you eating today? Candy yams, collard greens. Shut up. With this same filth every damn minute of the day. You don't even get tired of it. You don't even want to switch it up one year and have something different. You want this same thing because that's your bride and your soul aches for it. You love it so much, you won't even eat it another time of the year. Turkey is in the supermarket all year. But you like, no. Turkey, Thanksgiving, I must eat it then. I must have it then. Save it for Thanksgiving. Worship the turkey. Forget my mind on the turkey. You're disgusting, man. And you traded that in for justice. What else could you have if you gave up that meal? You could have justice, brother. The last one before I read the names. Amos 5:21. Come on.
Amos 5:21.
Nice and loud.
I despise your feast days.
Mosiah said, I despise your feast days. He hates them. He despises them. And that's how every man of God should feel. That's how every woman of God should feel. You should hate Thanksgiving. Hate it. Despise it. So many black people running around all day thinking about unifying. I'm so sick of hearing that word, unifying. We got to unify. We got to come together. Here's your problem, Christian. You're so busy unifying you have no idea what you should be divided from. You'll never even think about that. You never even think about, well, damn, maybe the reason that we can't unify is because we haven't divided from who we must divide from. Maybe that's why we can't unify.
Right.
We try to unify every year for 400 years. Yet and still, we don't accomplish it. Maybe we are with someone that is making sure we can never unify. We have to divide ourselves from him. Divide ourselves from them. Come on.
And I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
The Lord said, I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Solemn meaning holy assemblies.
God.
Smell what? Your cooking. Your food. Like that smell you smell when you walk on your mother's apartment or your mother's house. You smell it. You go, Well, that you know that feeling of mama cooking. I smell the turkey. I smell the yams. The Lord smells that same smell coming out your mama's house, and it's disgusting to him. Now, when you start to serve the Lord, that smell will be disgusting to you. I remember the first time I smelled weed and thought, ugh. I remember that thing. I remember thinking, when I grew to hate the smell of weed, I remember growing to hate the smell of shellfish. You begin to smell shrimp and crab and go, oh, the hell is that? Shrimp and crab? And I remember thinking at the same time, I hate the smell of cigarettes. I hate the smell of weed. I hate the smell of crabs and shrimp and lobster. Guess what? The Lord hates the smell of your mama's turkey, and your mama's stuffing, and your mama's cranberry sauce and macaroni and cheese. He smells that and goes, ugh, that's disgusting. They are eating that rather than getting justice for their brothers. King, keep going.
Though ye offer me burnt offerings.
Though you offer me burnt offerings, you put fire on that turkey, fire on those candied yams and macaroni and cheese. Go ahead.
And your meat offerings.
And your meat offerings, your food offerings. Go ahead.
I will not accept them.
He don't want that garbage. One last one, I got to wrap it up. Give me where the Lord does not hear the prayers of sinners in the book of Proverbs. Where he does not hear the prayers of sinners. He doesn't want that. You can keep saying this is for God. I'm doing this for God. I'm thanking God. He doesn't want it. He wants something else that you don't want to give him. Keep going.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
You make a peace offering. Tons of you black people, you sitting around the table with some child molester, some uncle you hate. He's a child molester. Some woman, some aunt, some baby's mother. Y'all all try to squash your beefs for Thanksgiving. You try to put your beefs to the side. You try to say, yeah, we don't get along. We fighting every day. But now me and my brother, we going to sit down and we going to have Thanksgiving dinner, even though we don't get along. That's your peace offering. The Lord hates your peace offering. The Lord would rather you deal with that problem you have with your brother. Deal with it. Deal with that child molestation in your house. Deal with that hatred you have for the people that sit around your table. Deal with that instead of just saying, this is a peace offering, turkey. We're going to forget about it all tonight. We're going to forget about it tonight. We're going to eat turkey and we'll go back to hating each other tomorrow. Keep going. No, let justice rain down like water. Come on.
Verse on 23. Take thou away from me the noise of thy song.
Keep going.
And I will not hear the melody of thy vows.
Keep vials, your singing, your music. Keep going.
But let judgments run down as water.
What does he want?
But let judgments run down as water.
He wants judgment to rain down like water, man. That's what he wants, man. He would rather you keep the thing that meal you take every year so you can forget the national transgression of America and pardon their transgression. He would rather you get rid of that, man, and get justice, judgment for the death of the North American Indian, for the death of the so-called Negro, for the death of the Hispanic people, man. Get rid of that stinking meal. That meal is making you forgive white people. Am I making that clear enough for you? It's making you pardon white people. That meal is making you say, well, we ain't thinking about that tonight. We thinking about family. You are pardoning white people for that stinking turkey. Let judgment rain down like water. That's what he wants, brother. Stop right there. Give me the other one. What's that ask for? Come on.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law.
Now, if you don't want to hear the Most High's law when he says that we should not celebrate Thanksgiving, we should not trade in justice for Thanksgiving. If you don't want to hear that, go ahead.
Even his prayer shall be abomination.
Even when you're praying around the turkey and thanking God for the turkey, the Lord says your prayer is an abomination because you are forsaking his law. He doesn't want to hear your prayer. The Lord ain't your baby's mother or some bitch you can connive and slick talk. You think he's going to go, well, they breaking my law and my commandments, but they are praying to me. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, bless this food. Your prayer is a what, Marah?
Shall be abomination.
Your prayer is an abomination to him. Everybody gets that? I got to move on. Let me copy that. Let me get something done real fast. For the brothers and sisters online, right? Let me give out a Hebrew name. We got 2 sisters tonight. No officers, right? So we got 2 sisters tonight. We got to raise up. Give them a hand. 2 sisters. One sister, her name, this is the sister in the Oklahoma City School. This is Officer I.S.K.'s mother. Give him a hand. Everybody knows I.S.K. out there. He's in charge of Oklahoma City, man, for Commanding General Yahanna and I.S.U.P.K. His mother came into the truth. Now, this sister, brother, this sister in the world where she was lost, always still had a love for her people and would feed the poor people in the neighborhood, would do acts of kindness to poor blacks and Hispanics in that neighborhood, then came into the truth and increased that tenfold. And this sister has come into the UPK. She has earned an honorable and righteous reputation amongst the brothers and the sisters and the Israelite school of UPK. And from this day forward, she will no longer be called whatever she was called before. And from now on, her name will be Kapar Amah. Kapar Amah, which means mother of the village. Mother of the village. Give her a hand. Kapar Amah, congratulations. You are now officially a daughter of Zion, a sister and member of the Israelite School of UPK. Congratulations. Kapar Amah, Oklahoma City. Who else do we have? We got a sister in the UK, in the United Kingdom, over there in England. Give her a hand. This sister is another sister, man. This sister has warred and fought her way into coming to the body of Christ, brother. This sister, you see many black women in the world, brother, who fight and war to get, jobs and a career in the white man's kingdom. They use their cunning and they use guile to get in those slaveries. This sister warred and fought her way to be counted amongst these holy women and the Israelite school of UPK. She fought and she wanted it. And she wanted to be brand new. She wanted to be special. She wanted to be different than the woman she was in the world. And let every sister take this example, man. This sister out in the UK that we're about to raise up right now, every sister should learn an example from this sister and Kapar Amah, man. You should learn the person you were in the past is the person you must hate, the person you must throw away. And the only way you can ever become a woman of value, a woman that men honor and look up to and go, this is a righteous woman, is to never be that bitch you were in the world. To throw that woman away. This sister in the UK, she did it, man. She earned her way into this school. She earned her way into this house. And she didn't do it with a ton of mouth, a ton of pride, proudful boasting. She didn't nag her way into this house. She came in here and did good works, man. And she showed the brothers in the UPK, in the UK, that she was willing to commit herself to changing herself. And because she did that, she will no longer be called whatever the hell she was called before. But this sister, from now on, her name will be Nadar. Nadar, which means she has given her word to the Lord. Nadar. Nadar, which means she has given her word to the Lord. Give him her hand. Give him her hand. And that's what she did, man. This sister made a commitment. And how many of you women out there need to understand that? You better understand that. You better understand that instead of running your goddamn mouth in some Christian church, come into the truth like Kapar Amal and be a mother in this village. Feed the people in this village. Clothe the people in this village. Be a mother in this village. Kapar Amal did it. And be like Nadar. Nadar didn't come into the UPK and run her mouth and complain and bitch and moan. She came in here and she made a commitment and she kept it. She made a promise and she honored it. That's not something you can see by looking at her butt or her breasts. That's something you got to be spiritual to see, man. To see a woman that made a commitment that says, you know what? My emotions tell me to do this. My pride, my envy, my anger tells me to do this. But my commitment, I'm bound to. I'm tied to this commitment. When Satan wants me to float off the ground into my own mind, like so many women in the world, you've dealt with this, where women in the world are not sober. They're not clear thinkers. Where a woman in the truth, brother, she's supposed to be tied to the ground spiritually. She doesn't float off. She doesn't float into love and hip hop and gossip and hate and envy and arguing on Facebook. She made a commitment. Well, Nadar, you made a commitment. You made a commitment and you honored it. And because of that, you deserve the honor of the people in the UPK and you deserve their praise. Congratulations, Nadar in the UPK. Give her a hat. That's who you are from now on. Congratulations. With that, I want to pass the class over to Priest Officer Mataza Yahanna.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you are a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to Rhythm Man Blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good record. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword. With